Let's have a quick hands-on overview of VADAR 2. VADAR is an acronym that stands for Video, Audio, Data, After Action Review. It's a software application that enables you to stream video, audio, and data from network-connected devices across a local LAN, VPN, or even the cloud via the open internet, without the need for additional hardware. Here we have the VADAR Viewer application, which views multiple streams on a video wall or a desktop monitor. I also have the VADAR user interface, accessed from a web browser after logging in. This is the welcome page, where you can access the four main areas of the VADAR user interface. To start off with, let's view some live streams in the Viewer Editor. The Viewer Editor is where we can add and rearrange streams on the viewer canvas. We can also use an auto layout function to fit our streams into the viewer nicely. Here, we have the streams from various components on our local network, including Windows and Linux PCs, and RTSP streams from IP cameras and HDMI IP video encoders. As you can see, even though VADAR is a software video streaming solution, it's compatible with existing hardware. To view the Windows and Linux desktops, we use our VADAR Sender application, which captures the desktop and then encodes the stream ready to be brought into VADAR. At any time, if there's something of interest in a smaller view, you can double-click on the region to make it full screen in the Viewer application. Now that we've seen live streams in action, let's go ahead and start a recording. First, we need to create a recording session. This can be done in advance and is where you'll give the session a name and choose what streams are required to be recorded and where the session is going to be saved. If you're performing training exercises, you can create an initial recording session template and duplicate that for each student. You can also create a session to record everything all at once so that nothing is missed, and then you can view only what is required during playback. Now that we have our session set up and our mission or exercise is ready, we'll press record. This has started the recording process on each of the VADAR Sender devices. We can now live monitor our recording session so we don't miss out on any of the action. We're back at our familiar Viewer Editor, where we can rearrange and resize our regions on the canvas. We can save our Viewer Editor arrangement as a layout for future use. We also have a bookmarks window where we can drop markers onto the timeline with notes and a description of any significant events as they happen. This is useful for recordings with only a relatively short period of interest. As the exercise rolls on, we can continue adding bookmarks that we can edit now or edit later during the debrief. We can return to the recording sessions page as the session closes and stop the recording. The session will be finalised after each sender communicates with the server to ensure that the recorded data has made it over the network or mobile data link intact. This communication happens continuously while the recording is in progress, allowing the finalised recordings to be pristine and complete, even if there's network congestion or dropouts during the live monitoring. Now, it's time to review and debrief the recording. We can start the debrief, taking us back to the Viewer Editor and loading the recorded files and bookmarks. We'll also load our viewer layout. We see each recorded stream playing back in synchronization when we press play. We now have a timeline across the bottom of the screen which shows our current playback position and the total length of the session in a time of day based format. We can play at double speed, half speed, pause the action and review frame by frame, with each stream remaining in locked synchronization with each other. Likewise, we can click anywhere along the timeline to jump to that point in the session. We also have the bookmarks we created while monitoring the recording. We can click the Seek button on each of these to quickly jump to that part of the action. Not only that, but we can create new bookmarks during the debrief for any moments we might have missed while the action was in full swing. Now that you've had a quick overview of the live streaming, recording, and playback aspects of VADAR 2, let's have a closer look at a few other features. From the web browser, you can view a live stream from any sender, whether you're using VADAR on a desktop, laptop, tablet, or phone. Suppose you're viewing a Windows or Linux PC via a VADAR Sender. In that case, you can remotely control the PC, which allows you to intervene to start applications or resolve issues on other network-connected PCs without needing to use additional hardware or find the relevant PC's mouse and keyboard. It's also handy to preview streams from hardware devices such as IP cameras, HDMI or DVI IP encoders. User-based access control means that every user login has varying access levels and will only have access to view and control what is authorized for their level or group. Create groups of users and give those groups access to your system's senders, viewers, and storage locations. You can also group your resources to restrict access to them to specific users or groups of users. That wraps up our high-level Vadar overview. We'll be back with more in-depth content on the Vadar features and instructional videos to help get you started. If you liked what you saw or have any questions, email sales@immersiveview.com to start a conversation. Thanks for watching.